The ways of your kind are ones of violence. Either you are hunted, or you become the hunter.
Welcome to the most dangerous planet in the universe, where everything is trying to kill you. Many of your kind have come here. None have survived. You're after a creature that can't be killed.
Yaslan zo ijet, det jet yolaichish.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. They released a new Predator Badlands trailer with a whole bunch of new footage. We learn more about what's happening with this alien planet with all the dangerous creatures, why Weyland Yutani is there, what they're actually after that puts them at odds with Elle Fanning's Synth and with the new Predator character. And a lot of what they're doing actually connects with what they were doing during the Alien Earth episodes earlier in the timeline, but this is meant to be set much, much later in the timeline than we've ever been before in the Alien or the Predator movies, if that wasn't clear. So this isn't set in between or like right after any of the particular movies before this. Dan Trachtenberg, the director, actually talked a little about this. He said after the Prey movie, he had the opportunity to do a direct sequel to Prey, but chose not to because most Predator sequels do not stick with the exact same group of characters movie to movie. So going to a completely different part of the timeline much later with a different clan of Yautja, different characters, different threats, is actually very much in the vibe of previous Predator movies, like very much in the tradition of Predator movies. Just starting at the beginning of the new trailer footage and working our way through shot by shot talking about Easter eggs and WTF moments. We start with a wider shot on a planet here that looks like a complete wasteland and different from the more fertile terrain on the Genna planet. So it's not clear if this desert-looking area here is on Yautja Prime or if it's on Genna, where most of the movie is meant to take place. And probably the other biggest thing that we learned in the movie is that both he and Weyland Yutani are trying to hunt down this one particular creature that you see him fighting throughout the trailer in the different battles, and it is called the Kalisk.
Many of your kind have come here. None have survived.
Based on some of the other promos, it seems like the Yautja themselves, like all the Predator clans, colloquially refer to the planet as the Death Planet, and we get some new information on their history with the planet. So the way the Elle Fanning Synth character Thea is talking to Deck, it seems like that's what the voiceover is happening here. She's talking to Deck, telling him about the history of the planet. Every single member of the Yautja who have come to hunt on the planet to seek trophies have died, which makes sense that they would call it the Death Planet in their race. We get the voiceover from the older character saying your ways are ways of violence as you see Deck fighting with his father and his brother. Now his brother is named Quay. Based on some of the other footage, it seems like Quay is much bigger than him, like Deck is meant to be the runt of the litter, which is one of the reasons why the other predators view him as weak. Their father is named Nyor. He's the older predator that you can actually see with the antlers coming out of his helm. There are a couple other Easter eggs for things that have happened on Earth too, like there's a trophy of a T-Rex skull in the back of their Predator ship. Predators do not have time travel technology, so it just means that one of the ancestors in their clan actually hunted on Earth during the prehistoric era. So in the shot with all the Easter eggs for all the different skulls here, like yes, this is a skull one of the Harvesters race from the Independence Day movies. Probably the only assumption we can make here just based on these is that at some point in the history of their clan's race, one of their ancestors fought and killed a Harvester. but I'm assuming the voiceover at the beginning of the trailer is actually Njor, Deck's father, and it's just the systems translating his speech to English so we, the audience, can understand it. There are a couple moments in the trailers where you actually see Deck speaking to Thea, but because he doesn't have any translation device or any technology working on him, you just hear it come out as Predator speech in the subtitles translated. Notice the way this fight goes down makes it seem like Deck's father kills his brother Quay for some reason, like he's cut his arm off, you see him crawling away, and he gets ready to stab it, to basically finish him off. This might have something to do with Deck's mission during the actual movie, because it seems like he's trying to escape their clan's ship and then make it to the planet so he can hunt the giant creature to prove himself. I think the idea, something happens at the beginning of the movie and they deem him unworthy, and basically he's sentenced to death. Like something is going to happen to him and he's going to be killed because they view him as weak. When we start getting Elle Fanning's voiceover, this is her Thea character. She's actually playing two different synths that are meant to be twins during the movie. Thea and Tessa. Tessa is the other one. You can tell them apart because their haircuts are different. And Tessa is meant to be the evil one who's like pro-company woman in there to execute Weyland Yutani's goals no matter what. Then later we see her in the Weyland Yutani med bays being repaired by the bioweapons division gear. What it sounds like they're doing, just based on the trailers, is that Thea's storyline is meant to be a parallel for Deck's, and she's also cast off by her family, so to speak, Weyland Yutani family, her sister, Tessa, basically her twin synth. Maybe there's something she tries to do that goes against Weyland Yutani, and they basically write her off for dead, like they don't care about her and just leave her for dead on the planet.
Get to the chopper!
So it sounds like based on what's happening in the synopsis they also released, saying that Weyland Yutani wants the same giant creature that Deck is trying to take as a trophy, Weyland is basically battling Deck over the rights to who gets to take that giant creature, if they're able to take it even. This will basically put Tessa against Thea, like sister against sister, because it seems like Thea is helping Deck achieve his trophy, kill that giant creature. This is actually where we connect back to what was happening during Alien Earth and what Weyland Yutani was doing then. Although all the companies on Earth were kind of doing a similar thing, they really just focused on the Prodigy company and on Weyland Yutani. Part of the idea they tried to set up with the 5 different alien specimens on that show is that Weyland Yutani wanted any kind of dangerous or powerful creature around the universe that it could weaponize with its bioweapons division, not just the Xenomorphs, which is kind of the way they portrayed Weyland Yutani in the previous Alien movies. They just wanted the Xenomorph. Now they tried to broaden that idea. They want all kinds of dangerous creatures that they can weaponize. And it seems like at this point in the timeline, this team of Weyland Yutani that's led by Tessa's character, the evil Elle Fanning synth, wants this giant creature that Deck is also trying to kill because it is like the apex predator of this planet, to make as many predator puns as possible. Like, who is the predator here and who is the hunted? But at least based on the trailer footage we've seen so far, no idea exactly how the Weyland Yutani company plans to weaponize this giant creature, just in the same way that Weyland Yutani has tried to take the Xenomorph's biology and weaponize it. If you've read the Alien comics that go way back to the Dark Horse days, like way back, they actually kind of get into that a little bit more, but they haven't dealt too much with it in the live-action movies yet. Maybe if they start doing some more colonial marines in the Alien movies, like the Alien Romulus line of movies, maybe they'll slowly start getting into that in future sequels. We will see. There is all kinds of crazy stuff that the colonial marines and Weyland Yutani make from the Xenomorph's biology. When they start moving through the different challenges that Deck faces, they actually reveal that the sentient vines are meant to be Deck's first big battle, his first challenge on the planet, which he kind of fails, like he barely escapes these with his life. There are a lot of people that also thought that this creature with the tentacles also was meant to be like the big version of Eyeball Creature from Alien Earth. I don't think that's the case. I think they're meant to be completely different creatures, but I do like the comparison, like the granddaddy version, the biggest, baddest version of Eyeball Creature, what they'll turn into. Really hoping that they don't wait like 3 years before doing Alien Earth Season 2 and they push into more Eyeball Creature mythology. Like there's just so much territory to mine with those alien specimens. There's a little bit of footage of what looks like Deck fighting his brother, then falling off the cliff down into the water here. Not totally clear when this is happening during the movie. Maybe it's them just fighting a battle together and him trying to prove himself and then barely surviving. There's also a lot of footage that they break up of them fighting inside what looks like a completely wrecked Weyland Yutani camp. Like the giant creature is fighting Deck, and it seems like the final big battle, but all this Weyland Yutani gear, like the loader, is in pieces behind them. There's piles of rubble of Weyland Yutani gear all around them. There's also a lot of Deck fighting the Weyland Yutani soldiers inside their camp before it gets destroyed, so it seems like this happens before the final big battle with the giant creature inside their camp. Then just based on a lot of other footage, it seems like they either release or they help unleash a lot of other alien specimens on the planet that Weyland Yutani has also on this camp, causing even more chaos. Deck and Thea also working smarter, not harder, because it's like the two of them against a whole bunch of Weyland Yutani heavily armed military. This is also similar to what Morrow tried to do during Alien Earth on the Prodigy Island, basically cause complete chaos with all the alien specimens getting out and just running rampant, just destroying all the Prodigy people while he was also trying to execute his mission. But the way that Dan Trachtenberg talked about it, there is no actual Xenomorph in this movie. All the alien specimens will either be new creatures, maybe a couple references to stuff from the past, but mostly new creatures that are from this planet. And that's why Weyland Yutani is here, because they want this giant creature mostly, but they're also just picking up other alien specimens that they think they might be able to weaponize. Probably the next big Easter egg that we haven't seen in previous trailers yet is our first look at a plasma caster. It might be Dex because it's targeting Thea here later in the movie, like you see the plasma caster 3 dots landing on her. So everybody let me know in the comments, what do you think happens to her at the end of the movie? Does she also leave with Deck and they just go off and have their own adventures together after this? When it actually comes to the Alien and Predator movie crossover in this, they said it's only the Weyland Yutani stuff, no Xenomorphs in the actual movie, so it's not going to be a legit Alien versus Predator type of movie. If they do something like that, it is probably going to be a long time before we try again. There's a whole bunch of new footage going on during this, so if there's any Easter eggs or references you spotted that I didn't talk about in this video or my previous Predator Badlands videos, just write them below in the comments. And the movie is coming out in a couple weeks. I will do videos for that when it does release, so be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss anything. Also, let me know if you have any special requests for Predator or Alien-related movies. We'll probably see more from Alien Earth in the next couple months or so when they start talking more about potential Season 2s. We will see. Hulu tends to wait a little bit longer before they renew stuff. There's a bunch of stuff happening this week. I also just had the opportunity to talk to James Gunn one-on-one, which is absolutely wild. I just posted that video. Click here for that. It was really cool talking to him, and click here for all my other Predator Badlands and Alien videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.